Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Hill Farmstead Brewing Company out of Greensboro, Vermont. Every time I say Greensboro, I want to say North Carolina because that's the most well-known Greensboro city in U.S. But so this is part of their Society and Solitude series. This is number 6. I don't know if you can see there, but this is a double IPA made specifically with Mosaic hops. And like all of their, I don't know about all of their, but most of their double IPAs, this is 8.0 ABV. I have had this like one time, but it was several years ago. I have not had it out of the can or anything. So I am excited to crack this open and see what we got. And I mentioned this on the Double Galaxy review I did, but I really appreciate Hill Farmstead, putting the bigger double IPAs in the 12-ounce cans and putting things like their Marie Hellas in the pounders, because I would prefer to have the higher ABV things in these smaller cans, and then the Hellas things that you could just crush, or lager things that you could just crush in the bigger ones. It just makes more sense. So this one looks a little bit darker than the Double Galaxy that I reviewed. So I wonder, all of the double, they have double Citra and all those. I wonder if obviously the hops are different, but I wonder if the malt base is different or if it's the same malt base and just different hops. But judging by the look of this, it looks a little darker, so maybe it is the malt. The malt bill is different too. Maybe that's why they go by the different names. I really don't know. But it is a pretty hazy, darker golden color with a fluffy white head. Whew, that is a lot more pungent than the Double Galaxy. And Mosaic, to me, if it's done right and it's very fresh and it's a single hopped beer, it has so much character to it. Because it has that really over ripened pineapple character, but there's also some dankness, a little bit of like that cat pee character, and also I do get it a little bit, but I know a lot of people describe blueberries. And to me, it's if I get blueberry out of it, it's usually in the flavor and not in the aroma. But I do get it in the aroma, and it's just like a tiny bit. It almost is a little like oniony or garlicky too. It has that little bit of like BO sweat saw character that Mosaic can have, where it just gets like really stinky. But I know it sounds gross, but I actually like that character just because it's distinct. Like Citra can kind of get like that, Galaxy and Nelson can kind of get like that, but Mosaic is like way can get really like funky, weird. So I just like that because it's just a unique quality that hop has. Man, that's good. I mean, this is really the epitome of the Mosaic hop. It has that like funky, sweaty character that a lot of like almost rotting pineapple. So it's very it's a unique, almost abrasive hop if you're not used to it. I'm sure most people watching this are, because a ton of breweries use it and a ton of different hoppy beers and IPAs. But it definitely is. If you're not used to it and you were just used to like West Coast, traditional West Coast like triple C type hops, it would be a surprise. I don't want to say a pleasant surprise because I could see people hating it too. It goes both ways. This one seems to have a little more hop punch to it than the Galaxy, which is interesting because this is actually a week fresher than that was. Not that that's a big time difference. It's only 7 days, but just interesting that the one comes off, to me at least, as a little bit more. Maybe it's just more bold and hop flavor. It's not necessarily fresher because the other one still tasted fresh. It just wasn't. It just had more of a malt character. This definitely has some breadiness in the back end, but it's definitely more hop forward. I will say before the Double Galaxy that I did, I thought I remembered the one thing that I don't want to say I didn't like, but that I noticed about Hill Farmstead Double IPAs when I had them more recently after all the craze, is I thought they were a little like heavy on the alcohol, but this and the Double Galaxy are if you told me this was a 6% pale ale or 6% IPA, I would absolutely believe it. There's no alcohol in the taste, and even in the swallow, I'm getting no heat at all, which is crazy. And even the body is, I mean, it's definitely substantial. It's not remotely watery or anything. It's actually very pillowy, but it's not syrupy by any means. I would just not guess that this was 8%. Definitely. Man, that's good. That is so good. I honestly do not remember the last time I had a single hop Mosaic beer that was this good. And I kind of go back and forth. So many breweries were doing single hop beers, and I kind of got tired of them. But breweries that really know how to brew IPAs, when they do single hop beers and they have a really nice fresh crop of hops, I love that because you can really, really understand what that hop actually tastes like. And that's why I love this, because it's such a great portrait of what Mosaic really is. And that there was no pun intended in that when I was saying it. I didn't even think about it until after I said it, saying portrait and Mosaic together. I'm sure that probably went over some people's heads. But it's... It does have a little bit of that oniony character, but to me that's just the normal funk from Mosaic. And then it falls into almost this very resinous pine sap character just for a second. And then it kind of follows with peach and a little bit of cat pee. The bitterness is just laying on my tongue, but not sitting in the back where it's a burn. It's just staying present to prevent me from chugging this whole thing so quickly, because it's really flavorful and delicious. And then really, really at the end of the swallow, it's just straight dough. Very nice malt bill in the background. And it's just... And I feel this one's probably a little less sweet than the Double Galaxy was. That was not sweet by any means, but it was a little more balanced. This is kind of more aggressive, not in a over the top way by any means, but it's just more aggressive than that beer was. But I'm okay with both of those things as long as they're done really well, and they both absolutely are. I don't know what this costs because I didn't pay for this individual can. I got it in a group of a bunch of different things from Hill Farmstead. But like I've said on the other ones, I think their cans, especially probably these 12 ounces, are for a pretty reasonable price. So I would definitely buy this if I had access to it on the shelf. Honestly, this is one of the few IPAs that I don't know how often I would even think to do it, but this is one of the few IPAs that I might even consider trading for, because I love Mosaic when it's by itself and when it's done right, and this is a perfect example of it. And you know, when you get a double IPA that's this crushable, it's actually kind of dangerous, because I would drink this like a 5% pale ale, to be honest. That's how easy to drink it is. So kudos to Hill Farmstead for another fantastic IPA specifically, but another fantastic beer in general, because this is just great. So yeah, this is for sure a buy for me. It's definitely worth seeking out if you love IPAs or just really, really top-notch beer in general. So check it out. But I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.